Welcome to John Es's Sports Channel, and I found an AI prediction for the Championship. We're going to go through it. This is a January one, so we should get some very interesting results here. And I like to put my own slant on it, so I will do. In 24th position, a shock straight away with 43 points. It's got Cardiff City. Now Cardiff City have played 26. Okay, that's they haven't got that many games left, have we? 24 points. Now they say they're going to finish on 43. They're going to be passed by Plymouth, Portsmouth and Hull. Not quite sure that Plymouth will manage to pass Cardiff City. They might do if they can get that side to sing as well as they did right at the beginning of the season. And I thought Plymouth and Portsmouth sort of like opposites, weren't they? Plymouth started really well at the beginning of the season, and Portsmouth have got better and better as the season has gone on. So whether those two can indeed pass Cardiff, I don't know. Plymouth more iffy to me. I'm not quite sure that Plymouth can. Portsmouth possibly. Hull City, well, look at what they've been doing. I think that Hull City are likely to stay roughly where they are, but within one or two places. So I'm not quite sure about the Hull City thing. But in 24th position, we have Cardiff City. Not quite sure about that one, guys. What do you think? In 23rd, they have, with 44 points, it's Hull City. And I just think that they may get this right. Hull City, to me, haven't shown any improvement as they've gone through the first half of the season, and unless they do something in the Championship's January window, I really don't think they're gonna be any much different from that. 22nd, 23rd, I'd probably sort of agree with that one. Hull City, 23rd. In 22nd, we then have Plymouth Argyle. And Plymouth Argyle, I think, can do well. If they can get back to how they were playing right at the beginning of the season, I can actually see them getting out of the bottom three quite easily. Rather like a Sheffield Wednesday from last year. Saunter gently throughout the second half of the season and end up sort of several points above the drop zone. But it's can they get this side to sing as well as what it did right at the beginning of the season? So we have Plymouth Argyle. Then in 21st we have Luton Town. Now this is another surprise, isn't it? Luton Town, 49 points. 49 points. At the minute, they're on 25. Sort of, a little bit less in the second half of the season, the AI is predicting. And it tries to do it, obviously, via, are you playing the tough teams away or home? Are you likely to get a sneak? You might be able to sneak a point at home, but you won't sneak a point away from home. And it tries to work it out logically, which is a bit insane. But Luton Town, it's got in 21st. I don't know. See, at the beginning of the season, I would never have put Luton Town down here. Why are they down here? I'd love to hear your thoughts, because at the minute, I can't actually say no to it. I would expect them to be out of it, and I would expect them to be able to get a song out of this team somehow, because it's an ex-Premier League side. Surely they can. They're not going to do the likes of Portsmouth and Ipswich and go, Premier League down to to League One. But in 21st position we have Luton Town, and then in 20th, a team that really can't believe this one. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. I would never put this team there or in that point. We've got QPR in 20th. I love it, guys. I love it. I love being controversial, but it's not me. This is AI. They're at the minute, QPR are in 13th, 26 games, 32 points. Yeah, I agree. They're not so far away from the 20th position. They're 7 points away from the 20th position at the minute. So what we're saying is if those teams below QPR start to play really well and QPR don't improve, what it's saying is they're going to actually end up below them. And it says that's what's going to happen. That the teams below them, Millwall, Preston, Coventry, Oxford, Derby, Stoke, will all start to get an improvement, and QPR will not be able to get the similar improvement. It's got in 20th place, not my, wouldn't be my choice, but it's got QPR. In 19th, we have Stoke City. Now, I did put Stoke City around here at the beginning of the season, and I can see them struggling to stay above that drop zone, but I think they will. I don't think that's going to be far out, guys. 19th at the minute. Yeah, I can see that. Stoke City, 19th. In 18th, we have Oxford, and roughly staying where they are, 29 points at the minute. It says they're going to finish on 53. I can actually see that. I think that they will now start to just gel themselves as a sort of lower mid-table side. So 18th, Oxford United. We go on from Oxford United and we will go to the next page. It is in 17th position, Preston North End. Now, if any of those sides below QPR were to play to drop closer to that that drop zone, I would say it would be Preston. They've been a little bit inconsistent. They've been playing really, really well, especially at the beginning when the sort of 14th to 21st slot was so even. 2 or 3 points difference between the whole lot of them, and they just rocketed up the table, didn't they? But just by having 2 wins together, and then they just dropped off, didn't they? And I don't know if I don't know. There's something not quite right for me. The fans are behind them. The manager's behind them. I just don't see why they're not quite clicking. Will they click in the second half? If they do, they could be well above 17th. But if they don't, they could quite easily drop to 17th. Because look who they've got ahead of them. So 17th, Preston North End. If you don't agree with it, please do comment, like and subscribe. You get lots more like this. Do like to be a little bit controversial as well, so you'll love being a member of the channel. Coventry City in 16th. Now that's saying that they're really going to stay where they are. Teams around them are going to get worse than better, and Coventry will be at least keeping up with the teams around them. So in 16th place, Coventry City. Can't really argue with that. I think that they're at the minute. They're just going to have to cope with making sure that they can get that team working well under their new manager, and then perhaps push on next year. Tell me what you think, Coventry fans. Coventry City in 16th. In 15th, we have Portsmouth on 55 points. Now that's actually a hell of a lot of points. This is a really good improvement. So they can actually see Portsmouth improving. The AI system has actually said, look, this improvement's going to continue. And that's what AI tends to do. It looks at the team's present trajectory. Are they improving? Are they staying the same? Are they getting worse? And who are they playing? In this case, Portsmouth in 23rd, 23 points, 1 point per game, and they're predicted to finish with 46 games and 55 points. So they're predicted to get a little bit better. I actually think that's about right. They have been playing a lot better. There has been 1 or 2 games where I thought recently they should have got something from it to prove to me that they can get out of that bottom 3. They keep getting out and then dropping back in. I think this is a sort of one or the other thing. I think for me, they're either going to finish sort of 15th, 16th, or they'll finish in the drop zone. AI says 15th position, Portsmouth. In 14th, then, we have Derby County. So Derby County are presently in 18th with 27 points. They said they're going to finish with 57. So actually, it is an improvement. So they're going to improve slightly, finish, just below halfway, 14th. Will they be happy with that? I think that Paul Warne will be absolutely ecstatic with that. A number of times he's played as manager in the Championship and nearly always got relegated. So in fact, I think it's every time he got relegated. So he'll be happy with that and then try and push on for the following year. He's done a good job. I must admit, I didn't think he would do as good as he has done. Well done to him. We have Derby County, 14th position. So who do we have in 13th? The last team to be below the halfway line. We have Millwall. 30 points at the minute from 25 games. They say they're going to be about 58 points. So they're not going to. They're just going to ease off, I think, and not really drop off, but a little bit of a slowing down of that points income in the second half of the season. I can see that they have been a little bit up and down, and just when I was saying months ago they're going to do really well, they're doing excellent at home. Their home form's brilliant. It is the Den now, fearful to go to. All of a sudden they started losing points at home, and he's like, I wish you'd have kept my mouth shut. So I can see this being right. Millwall in 13th. So we go into the top half. Excuse me, I did have the flu recently. 12th position, we have Sheffield Wednesday. Now, they're on 37 points at the minute, so they're going to finish on 59. And because they've lost that player to Sheffield United. Their loan player went back to Sheffield United, went back to their parent company, and it came back to, they went and loaned him to Sheffield United. There's going to be a few upsets in this January window, I fear, for Sheffield Wednesday. They've already had one. Will it make a difference? I think it will. I don't think it'll make a great deal of difference. And in the second half, let's just think about the teams they're going to be playing. And will they be able to pull it off as good in the second half as they have in the first half, which I'm really impressed by. I've got Sheffield Wednesday right up in that 6th slot, and I still think they could push for a playoff position. However, Sheffield Wednesday, 12th position according to the AI. In 11th, and we have Swansea, roughly where they are at the minute. They're in 12th, 34 points. Yeah, they're going to be about the same as in the second half of the season as they were in the first, according to this. 59 points. Swansea City, can't say anything more. I think that it's quite likely that they're going to be in a sort of 11th position, because if you look at it, there's a slight gap between the bottom half and the top half, and I can see a gap opening up certainly before Easter, where we're going to have a two half table here of the decent teams at the top and the sort of middle teams that are now near the bottom because of the way that some good teams have got relegated and Premier League teams coming down. The whole thing seems to have dropped slightly, and the middle teams are now near the bottom. Swansea City in 11th position. I can't really argue with that, I don't think. Not me, anyway. Watford are in 10th, and again, 38 points at the minute and in 8th position. And I was thinking, they haven't really done it for me. They're going to be somewhere, I think, between that 8th and because you've got West Brom above and Borough and Blackburn. I don't see them going up higher than 8th. Watford have got the AI have got Watford in 10th. I don't think that's too far off. I think it'll be somewhere between 8th and 12th. That chunk of a batch of teams that are sort of upper middle class in this league, pushing for that 5th and 6th slot, but not quite able to get there. It must be really frustrating for fans seeing themselves drift underneath that, just a little bit away from the 5th and 6th slot, knowing a little run of 2 or 3 wins would get you in there. But yeah, they've got in 10th place Watford. So who do they have going up towards that fated 5th and 6th slot, eh? They've got Bristol City in 9th. Now, Bristol City are 9th, and I really can't really deny this one. 37 points, 9th position, having played 26 games. 66 points at the end, they say they're going to be on. So it's not too dissimilar. I can see that being about right. We have in 9th position Bristol City. In 8th, and again, one of that batch of about 5 teams that could quite easily sort of mix together the Watfords, the Bristol City, the Sheffield Wednesdays, the Norwich Cities, and possibly including Swansea. We have in 8th Norwich City. So Norwich City finishing with 67 points, it says. They're on 36. 20 games, so 30 points, 20 games. That's pretty good, I think. They'll be a bit disappointed, I think, if they finish in the 11th position that they're in. 8th position, maybe, it just takes away a bit of the pain and possibly even gives a bit of excitement towards the end as we start seeing that they'll probably be quite close to that 6th position. Let's see where they are away from the 6th position, because we're going to 7th. So remember, Norwich City are in 8th on 67 points. In 7th, they have a shock. And it's Borough. Borough just dropping out of that top 6. But you see, Borough have been playing pretty average of late. They haven't been that brilliant side, really technically great, great expertise. It seems to have dropped off, and they're being shown up by some of the sides that I wouldn't have personally thought they would have been shown up by. In 7th position, I'm not going to argue with it. It's Middlesbrough. So who do we have in the top 6? Well, in 6th we have Blackburn Rovers. Now they're in 5th at the minute, but I can actually see this team dropping out of it. I think 6th position is probably 5th position is probably the highest I would see them, but I can't see them finishing there. They're in 5th at the minute. I think they'll probably finish somewhere between 6th, 7th, 8th. 6th is probably the highest position I would have put them in. It's got Blackburn Rovers in 6th on 71 points. So do remember, that's not far away from Norwich. And I think that as they start realising if they could put 2 or 3 wins together, perhaps that will get them to gel better and really try and, force themselves to win these games, those extra couple of games that they need to get into that the playoffs. So in 6th we have Blackburn Rovers. I'm not going to argue with it. In 5th, and now starting to get a little bit more steady and trying to sort of just keep that the 5th and 6th slots nailed down. Hopefully this time for their fans' sake, they will do. It's West Brom. Don't know. That managerial selection last night was a little bit iffy to me. This was done couple of weeks before, obviously, the manager was announced. I can't see that being a good one. It says 5th West Bromwich Albion. I just don't know if they can get any better than 7th with him. Was he 62, 61, 62 years old? His management style is old hat now. I've not seen the older generation come in and be able to play the Championship style that helps them progress. But I hope I'm wrong for West Brom fans' sake. There's one next door, so I do want to try and cheer him up a little bit. He's got in 5th, West Brom, on 75 points. Just don't know if that is really possible. However, 5th, West Brom. In 4th, now we've obviously got 4 teams at the top, and these 4 to me, they're already got 9 points ahead of Blackburn in 5th. They aren't going to get caught, I don't think. I can't see it. So which way round are these last 4 teams? In 4th, we have Sunderland. I can see that. They did so well at the beginning. They've been just getting a little bit better, just nibbling back into that the top 4. And they've managed to get there. And I think they'll stay there. 84 points it's got them on, which is pretty reasonable. I'm not going to argue. The top 4 will be the top 4. Sunderland in 4th. In 3rd, a shock. Now, this really is a shock. In 3rd, it has Leeds United. Absolutely. On 89 points, it's got Leeds United. They're on 53 already, so they've got another 20 games. And yet they're going to get 36 points from the remaining 20 games. That's a lot of points dropped. I personally can't see it, but Leeds United, 3rd position. Please do put your comments in below. Don't you dare click dislike, because this is the AI prediction. And I've already said I can't really believe that. But, I mean, how many have they lost so far? 3. It's a bit... I know they haven't been scoring lots of goals, but they've been winning the ones they need to win. So, in 2nd, we have Sheffield United. Now, they've been a bit iffy for me. They've been a bit like Leeds in that when they've won games, but they've won them by sort of 1 or 2 goals. And they haven't been looking massively brilliant. They've just been looking just good enough to win the games, which at the end of the day I suppose is okay, and until you get to the Premier League, when you've got to make that gap is so huge. You can't just win this league by little being I get that 1 or 2 goals and just sit back and win the game. And that seems to be where I'm seeing Sheffield United do it. So obviously we know who's going to be in 1st, don't we? And in 1st we have Burnley. And Burnley, it says, will finish on 104 points. Now that's a bloody good improvement. 27 games so far, so 19 left. 53 points they've got. And it says they're going to finish on, it's calculated, mid-January this was done. Calculating that they're going to finish with 104 points. That's a really impressive end of season run. Do you think that's going to be capable of the Burnley side? I don't know. Perhaps it will, perhaps it won't. Please do leave your comments. Please do like and subscribe. Click the bell, and there'll be lots more like this as we go on through the season. Thank you very much. Join us at Sports Channel. Over and out.